Welcome to Keep What You Earn, your judgment and jargon-free zone for entrepreneurs of all levels. Get ready to learn how to scale your business, save money in taxes, and create a business that grows your wealth. If it feels like the financial side of business is like eating your vegetables, well, then think of this podcast as the ranch dressing to make the process a little more enjoyable. My name is Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CPA and business owner on a mission to simplify money and empower others through knowledge. I hope this episode inspires you to take action, but remember that the information we share is for educational purposes only and is not individual tax advice. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start the show. So I heard this phrase recently, this sort of quote that people buy pain pills, not vitamins. And it couldn't be more true. I totally agree that we wait until the jeans don't fit to purchase the weight loss program or to get healthy. We wait until we hit a certain point and we're experiencing the pain to realize that we need help in solving a problem. We're less likely to purchase the thing that will prevent the problem and more likely to let the problem happen and then try to solve it. And this happens with our businesses too. And what we will constantly be combating as accountants is the instinct that I have to wait until there's a problem to do something about it. I couldn't tell you how many people, come to me in April when there's a huge tax bill on the horizon, or, at the end of the year in December that haven't done their books all year and say, hey, I'm really experiencing the pain of this now. Can you help me solve for it? And, it's tough because that's when demand is the highest, but it's also when, we are kind of icing all the cakes, getting everything out and ready to go. And then someone comes in with a custom order. It's like, wait a minute, we're in like the icing phase. We're almost done, like packaging this up and shipping it all out. And it's not anyone's fault, really. I think that it's underemphasized how important it is to have good financial practices in your business year round and from the beginning. And although it's good hygiene, it's good to quote unquote eat your broccoli, right? We all know that's healthy. We all know it's healthy to wake up every day and go for a workout. We all know that it's healthy to get plenty of sleep, but we don't do it. We don't do it. We succumb to other temptations. We're tempted by more exciting things, things that make us happier, give us more dopamine hits. And as a result, here we are procrastinating and getting stuff done. I do it myself. Hey, I do it in my business. I do it in my life when it comes to exercising and other stuff. I mean, we've all been there. So what is the solution? What is the ultimate solution? I want you to think about this in the form of business vitamins and business surgery, if you will. A lot of folks will wait until the business gets to a certain point or grows to a certain point. I hear all the time from early stage business owners that, hey, I'm not big enough yet, or let me make some money first and then I'll get back to you. And the only issue with that, and I kind of agree, I'm like, yeah, let's make sure your product is viable and that this is going to turn into a legit business and you want to move forward, right? But let's say it does work. And I'm going to say that it's probably unlikely that it won't work. If you're really motivated and you put the time in and if you're motivated enough to start the business, then you're motivated enough to, have it become a business. And if you're going to take it seriously, then I recommend taking it seriously from day one and installing those habits and having some type of system in place. The problem is that we don't take those vitamins, and the vitamins look like, having the business bank account. The vitamins look like having, tracking in place for your income and expenses and just simply doing the tracking. The vitamins look like getting your taxes done on time or having a folder in your Dropbox or your Google Drive or whatever to store all those important financial docs. Those are all the business vitamins. Then when you get to a certain point, if you haven't taken all these vitamins, you haven't done those habits, then you get to a certain point in your business where you're big enough, where you start to feel the pain point and you go, oh no, I am approaching 7 figures. I haven't really been doing all the things I know I quote unquote should do. I haven't been eating my vegetables every day, and now you're running around trying to find an accountant to help clean things up. So now we are in the position where I need a quick fix because you are intolerant of a solution that will take years. We don't want to start the weight loss journey now. We need to fit in the bikini tomorrow. It's an analogy that works. But it's so important to understand that, what you're looking for and who will provide it. So when you're looking at starting a business, I want you to be really intentional about the structure, really intentional about how you're going to run it and creating those habits, creating some type of project management. I mean, we use Asana in my company, or you could be using Notion, or you could be using ClickUp or one of these, or Trello, one of these other platforms. And I want you to install those little habits, looking at your bank account, looking at your profit and loss statement every month, having a bookkeeper do a review of your books, or even if you're just in a spreadsheet, having a link to that spreadsheet and saying you're going to update it weekly or monthly or every 2 or 3 weeks, whatever that looks like, even quarterly is better than nothing. Because what's important is that you install the habits that you can do and that you will do consistently without skipping. So even if it means you're only going to look at it quarterly, fine. I would rather 4 times a year than none. And it's going to become easier the more you repeat. And I would encourage you to challenge yourself. And if you really want to do it quarterly, put it in for monthly, because you're going to do it every single month. It's going to become like muscle memory. You're going to remember what you're doing a lot easier, and it's going to become quicker, faster. So you're going to be able to do it faster a lot sooner because you'll have put the reps in. Not to mention, you're going to be able to delegate this a lot faster because you're going to be able to train someone on how you do it. And you're going to be able to share, and they'll pick up where you left off, as opposed to going back in time and doing a little bit of reconstructive surgery to fix the things that have happened in the business. So understand too, the expectation. If you get to the point where you need a little bit of quote unquote business surgery, then understand the expectation that it's not magic. It takes a lot of skill for a pro to go back into your stuff and to reconstruct it the way that it should be done. And all I would say is have respect for their time, their fees, their offer to help you do that. I see all the time business owners who will kind of look at the state of everything and say, okay, I know it's a little messy. Like, we're all human, right? I know it's a little messy. Well, how much is it going to take to fix this? And there's usually a budget. And it's usually like, hey, I did this myself to save money, right? I did this myself to save money for all these years, but it wasn't done correctly. And now the person has to go back and essentially redo the 3 years worth of work. So the logical thing to say is, well, then why wouldn't you pay them what you would have paid them to get you to the same finish line? So a lot of times these professionals will charge you based on the month or by year, whatever it may look like. And it's going to cost money because it's a trade-off, right? You chose to invest your time instead of investing the money. But what you're betting on is that you're able to do it to the same quality or the same standard, or to get it to the right place. And if that couldn't happen, I want you to have A, grace with yourself, but B, grace with the process, and understand that someone is going to charge you to fix it. And that is not to discourage you from hiring someone. Please do not let that perpetuate. If you feel like things are going a little sideways, you're not really sure, what direction you're going in business, and you think that, hey, I think my books are a little bit not so perfect, then I would encourage you, find a professional, especially one who will listen to you and understand where you're coming from, and will work with you to make sure it's right. There are lots of them out there, and I can recommend some if you need. But it's really important that you approach them. You say, I need some help with this. I want to get this to the right place. And here's the other thing. Remember that we're approached as accountants nearly every day with these stories. And people seldom, it's kind of like doctors, like the well people seldom come to us, right? So if I'm a doctor, you wouldn't go into a doctor's office and apologize for being sick. You wouldn't go into your doctor and say, hey, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I am really sick. It's like, that's their service. Like, their whole service is serving sick people. Like, that's actually their ideal customer. It's like, I would like to cure your sickness. If you walk in perfectly healthy with nothing going on, why are you at the doctor? So when you approach an accountant or a tax advisor, it's nearly expected that if you're going to take on a project with them, that they're going to help you clean something up, or they know that you're probably in a situation where you need their help. And that's just part of the deal. I couldn't tell you how many different messes and like messy books and businesses that were so far behind. Like, I have so many stories, and I guarantee you that whatever you've got doesn't hold a candle to what I've seen. I guarantee you. In my 15 years, I don't think your, year long behind books, they barely faze me. And most accountants. I think, keep in mind that you make a bigger deal out of your situation than a professional will. And they'll actually calm you down, and they'll actually be like, nah, no problem. I'll have it back to you in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is. Not promising their timelines, but you'd be amazed at how when you rip off the Band-Aid and you just go into the office and you say, well, digital or otherwise, and say, I need help with this, how that weight gets lifted, because you can establish a relationship with a professional. They can help you. They can even train you. If you want to continue doing it yourself and do it better, they can train you. So when you need that quote unquote business surgery because you haven't been taking your quote unquote business vitamins, then just understand that it's okay. Number one, it's okay to ask for help. But number two is that hopefully you understand and appreciate why we try to sell these vitamins, because we know that it can help prevent a ton of headaches down the road. And until you've felt it, you won't really have a full appreciation for the value that these vitamins do provide. So I guess I'm asking you to trust me when I say these vitamins will help you, because I've seen a lot of folks who haven't taken them, and I have a lot of stories. The problem is, it would not be in good faith for me to share those stories with you and name people and to, exploit the tragedies and exploit the terrible things that have happened to people for marketing gain. Now, I'm not a fan of that, but it is important to share cautionary tales. It is important to share, this is what could happen to you if you don't. I don't like adding additional fear and scaring people around numbers. I don't think that's necessary, but I do think education is, when it comes to what could happen or how this could truly benefit you. So I'll be doing more of that in the near future. All right. So this is the permission you never needed to go ask for help if you need it, and to explore your own numbers and determine, am I going to wait until I need surgery, or am I ready to take those vitamins? One of the best decisions I made in business that saved me countless headaches was getting expert advice in HR as I started growing my team. With so many compliance requirements, especially for virtual businesses, I could never get caught up on everything I needed to learn or I was supposed to do. That's where Jackie and her team at People Principles came in with their signature HR audit for only $349. But get this, if you use code Shannon50, you get $50 off of that. So it's only $300. You'll have peace of mind by the end of the week with this exclusive offer as a Keep What You Earn listener. Here's what's included: a step-by-step self-assessment, a 60-minute strategy session with their HR experts to ensure that you're in compliance and you have a plan for getting on track, an HR template to keep all this important stuff in one place, and a roadmap of the top 3 best practices to implement right now in the next 6 to 12 months. Again, use code Shannon50 to take $50 off of this assessment. Do not miss out on this opportunity or let unintentional HR mistakes derail your business growth. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review on your podcast platform. This small action goes a long way for podcasters to get our message heard by more business owners just like you. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to information about our guests and ways to get in touch with me. We'll see you on the next episode.